of the Perth Amboy Board of Education is now called to order. It is now 5:36. Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Notice of meeting. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend to the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Perth Amboy Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the bulletin board in the administrative headquarters building, mailing notice to the Home News Tribune, El Diario La Prensa, City Clerk Cupsh, as well as all other persons requiring notification pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law. Mr. LoGrace, can you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Crawford.
Present.
Mr. George.
Present.
Mr. Marte.
Present.
Ms. Melendez.
Present.
Ms. Odiela. Mr. Quiles.
Present.
Vice President Gonzalez. President Peralta. We have a quorum.
We'll now hear from our student representative, Mr. Angel Cruz.
Good evening, esteemed members of the Board of Education, school administrators, teachers, and fellow community members. I am excited to be here today to provide an update on the remarkable developments at Perth Amboy High School as we kick off the new school year in our brand new building. First and foremost, I'd like to express my gratitude and honor for being selected to serve as your Perth Amboy Board of Education student representative once again. It is a privilege to represent my peers and work alongside the board to ensure our voices are heard and our school continues to grow and succeed. I'm happy to report that we conducted a successful fire evacuation drill last week. This was our first drill in the new building, and I am proud to say that our students and staff responded quickly and efficiently, ensuring everyone's safety. It is comforting to know that our school is not only a place of learning, but is a place that prioritizes the well-being of every individual. I'd like to also highlight some of our Panthers sports updates. Our football team has been working hard this season, and although they've had a few challenging games, they've currently hold a record of 1 win and 2 losses. Despite the challenges, the team is determined and shows remarkable resilience. With their dedication and the support of our school community, we are hopeful for a strong comeback as the season progresses. Panther pride remains strong both on and off the field. We are appreciative that our school board, along with the superintendent and administration, have met with our uniform committee over several months to discuss our policy. We've been informed that these conversations have led to some pending decisions on our school uniforms. The uniform committee will continue our dialogue regarding school uniforms and look forward to further discussion on how to better incorporate student ideas. Furthermore, our student council is hard at work preparing to submit for approval 3 significant events this year, and we couldn't be more excited. First up is the Winter Wonderland event in December, a magical celebration filled with various fun activities and opportunities for our students to come together during the holiday season. Then, in the spring, we will be hosting the annual Spring Fling Dance, which promises to be a lively event that will give our students a well-deserved break and a chance to socialize and unwind. We are also planning the first ever Perth Amboy High School car show. We've been working on this new initiative since last year, and we hope it will bring together students, staff, and the larger Perth Amboy community for a day of showcasing cars, creativity, and school spirit. We are eager for this event to come to life and hope that the board will allow it to happen. It promises to be a unique and exciting addition to our school's activities. The Student Council was dedicated to making these events memorable and ensuring that everyone in our school community feels included and represented. In closing, I'd like to emphasize how proud I am for our school. From academics to sports, the arts, and community engagement, there is a sense of unity and progress at Perth Amboy High School that makes this year feel truly special. I am confident with the continued support of the board, our school will keep thriving and our students will continue to excel. Thank you for your attention, and I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Meeting open to the public for discussion of agenda items and non-agenda items. There will be only one public participation session at this meeting. At this time, comments are invited on any matter. Public participation shall be governed by policy number 0167. Anyone wishing to address the board, please state your name, municipality of residence, and group affiliation. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No member of the public may address or question board members individually. Although the board encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate the remarks to and/or by any individual not keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. The board discourages the public from speaking negatively about any employee, administrator, or student. Individuals can be held personally liable for defamatory or libelous statements made at public meetings. The board bears no responsibility for comments made by members of the public. Comments regarding employees, administrators, or students cannot be legally responded to by any member of the board or administration. The microphone is now open for public comment.
Good evening, Pat Paradiso, President of the Perth Amboy Federation. It's no wonder that the superintendent of Perth Amboy Public Schools was so intent on getting his contract renewed with a hefty raise in July of this year. There was a lot of cajoling and some inappropriate phone calls, but he managed to convince 5 individuals that he was worth a fortune and worth hanging on to for 5 more years. What has followed in this district since has been nothing short of disastrous. Let's talk about La Promesa. Before the high school was complete, we expressed our concerns about the dangerous location and the lack of parking. The superintendent told us all that students would be bused to the new high school. That promise was clearly broken. Our students must cross multiple intersections and highway ramps without crossing guards to get to the high school. They walk or ride on Route 35. Some students walk 45 minutes to get to school. Some students are standing in front of a liquor store for up to an hour, waiting for a New Jersey transit bus. Let's talk about La Promesa. The lack of busing has made it nearly impossible for preschool parents to get their children to and from school safely. It has been reported that parents pick up their 3-year-olds, not wearing helmets, on the back of e-bikes. Parents have also told teachers that when the weather is cold or rainy, they will not be able to walk their babies to school. Let's talk about La Promesa. Elementary schools have no supplies for students, and laptops are dirty and broken. We do not have enough technology specialists, secretaries, custodians, homeschool liaisons, security officers, or nurses to properly care for our students. Preschool classes are each down to 1 paraprofessional. All of this is putting our students at risk. After the layoffs in May, 3 school nurses resigned. Why haven't 3 school nurses been called back? In 2022, a majority of Federation members called for a vote of no confidence on this superintendent. Board members did not heed the significance of that vote. Understand this: staff members have no confidence in this superintendent because he has been a complete failure in this district. In fact, he has ruined this district. At the last board meeting, I watched the superintendent trotting around the auditorium of the new high school with an arrogant disposition. He was trying to intimidate certain board members for calling him out at a July meeting. We were all told that When we call him out, we are disparaging our students. Well, we are not. We are disparaging you, and you deserve it. We can't wait until certain board members stop defending you. Is this the La Promesa you intended to keep? Thank you.
Josiah Santa Maria, District Representative for the Perth Amboy Federation. With the opening of the new high school has come new problems, and the Federation has been fielding calls and conversations about these issues since the opening. It's not just the parking, it's not just the traffic, although these are major concerns for the staff and the community alike. In these conversations we have had with these groups, we have not only identified issues but have potential solutions to these problems. And we are here looking to collaborate with the Board of Ed and Central Administration to resolve these issues. Some of these solutions require the cooperation of not only the people in this room, but they might need the help and guidance of city and county officials to bring to fruition. Again, I cannot stress this enough. There needs to be collaboration in this effort rather than unilateral decisions. This district does not function because of the efforts of a few. It takes everyone, and therefore everyone deserves the opportunity to participate and be heard.
Good evening, members of the board, faculty, and parents. My name is Kimberly Garcia. I'm a parent, not of just this little one, but also a sixth grader, and I'm concerned. So I stand before you today as a concerned parent to discuss a critical issue affecting our students' academic performance and well-being: unrestricted access to platforms like YouTube on school computers. YouTube, while offering educational content, also presents a significant distraction for students. Studies have shown that students ages 8 to 18 spend an average of 7.5 hours a day on entertainment media, including video platforms like YouTube. This excessive screen time is a growing concern, especially in environments meant for focused learning. While YouTube has valuable resources, yes, of course, the content is often unfiltered and not always educational. According to Common Sense Media, 59% of teens have admitted to using social media platforms like YouTube during class time, resulting in divided attention. When students should be engaging with their lessons, they're often consumed by unrelated content, and it diminishes their focus and productivity. A study from the Journal of Behavioral Addictions found that students who engage in frequent social media use, including YouTube, reported lower academic performance. In fact, students who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media were twice as likely to have lower grades. This shows a direct link between extended time spent on platforms like YouTube and a decline in school performance. As parents, many of us work very hard to create environments that foster growth, creativity, and healthy habits for our kids. We limit screen time, we reduce exposure to social media, we encourage outdoor activities, while that might seem antiquated nowadays. And it can be frustrating to know that while we make these efforts at home, the presence of platforms like YouTube in school can actually undermine our attempts to help our children academically and socially. Our children deserve a learning environment that supports their academic growth and their mental health. While technology can be a great tool for learning, absolutely, it should be carefully monitored and restricted in school setting to avoid harmful impacts of excessive media consumption. I urge the board to consider implementing stronger restrictions on platforms and accessibility to things like YouTube, or at the very least ensure content filters and monitoring systems are in place to protect our students and our kids' well-being. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anuris Peralta. I'm with the Perth Amboy residents here, and my children go to Rose M. Lopez, one of the most heavily impacted schools regarding the transportation. I'm representing those single mothers. I'm representing those grandparents, and I'm representing those people that are less fortunate, that don't have a vehicle to transport these kids to school. The other day, we had kids walking on the 440 on the ramp, trying to take shortcuts to get back home from the new high school on a dangerous intersection, not even an intersection, a highway. Would you guys send your kids to walk home like that? Why us? Why did this happen to us? How did we get here? How did you allow this to get here? Here, I asked the Board of Electors, who do you represent? Do you represent the people of Perth Amboy that voted you in? Or do you represent the board district? Who are you with? On whose side? I know the 4 heroes, but I have a question for the other 5. It appears that there is a member that's holding 2 offices. It appears that there is a violation of the law as well, which I will read. Under Section 2A 15821, the prohibit of political activities of county prosecutors, assistant prosecutors, or legal assistants. A person who holds a position in the county of the prosecutor, assistant prosecutor, or legal assistant to a prosecutor with indictment authority shall not candidate for hold office or elective public office for a period of 3 years immediately following the termination of the person's services of the county of the prosecutor assistants and prosecutors or legal assistants. We got to bring that into question. I'm not going to name a name, but it will come out. And this has to be rectified. You represent us, the people of Perth Amboy. You represent our children. That's who you represent. No favoritism, and whatever was offered to you, believe me, it's not worth it. Next election, you won't be there. But I do commend and I applaud the 4 that did stand up for the people of Perth Amboy. You have our backs, and we have yours. But for the other, it's a major letdown. So I want to know why one of the schools in Ford has been almost vacated, and we're still with the lease. We have the East and the West campus. When is that lease up? You guys claim that there's no budget. Let's look into that. Why didn't we look into solar panels for the school if the bill was going to be $30,000 a month?
Mi nombre es Rosbelia Acevedo, soy de la comunidad de Perth Amboy y mi niño pertenece a la escuela de DLS en Fords. Por ser de DLS, mi niño pertenece al programa del dúo. Hablando en español, le demostraré por qué es importante que todos podamos aprender 2 idiomas y por qué a la hora del corte no podemos cortar un programa que le facilita a nuestros niños pronto tener oportunidades por poder manejar 2 idiomas. No creo que este programa debe de ser cortado ni triturado como se ha intentado en un tiempo. Por limitar el budget podemos limitar el futuro de nuestros hijos. Se supone que este año de manera particular nuestros niños iban a empezar la escuela con mucha alegría y emoción. Sin embargo, fue muy difícil y muy triste para muchos padres recibir a 2 semanas antes de iniciar las escuelas una carta que decía que su hijo no iba a tener transporte. El mismo que le iba a facilitar a muchos padres que trabajan fuera del pueblo tener posiciones distintas para poder mediar las limitaciones que tenemos como comunidad. En una comunidad como la nuestra, donde los recursos no son suficientes, donde en realidad tenemos que pagar cada vez más alto el costo de la vida para poder darle calidad de vida a nuestros hijos, es difícil escuchar que el Board Education se vio en una condición difícil y tuvo que tomar la decisión de cortar nada más y nada menos que nuestro transporte. Podemos ver muchas opciones, pero lamentablemente le quiero decir al Board Education que hemos evaluado las opciones y entendemos que en una casa, a la hora de cortar el presupuesto, no podemos cortar la forma de movernos. porque en este país en el que estamos, movilizarnos de una esquina a otra no es tan fácil, bajo el frío, bajo la lluvia, con problemas trabajando fuera del pueblo porque nuestro pueblo no paga un salario que pueda sostener el costo de vida de esta comunidad. Entonces, ¿para quién trabaja el Board Education? Para la educación, para los niños, para los padres, para sí mismo, para el Estado. Es una respuesta que solamente ellos tienen. Pero queremos que nos respondan, porque en verdad esta situación se puede salir de las manos. Tendremos maestros, tendremos escuelas, tendremos infraestructuras y seguridad, pero no vamos a tener niños porque no van a poder llegar. No importa qué programa podamos conseguir, si los niños no pueden llegar al lugar. Entonces, yo no puedo solamente ver por mí porque tengo un auto, tengo que ser responsable también de las demás personas que están a mi alrededor. Porque no somos individuos únicos, somos una comunidad y como comunidad nos representamos los unos a los otros. Lo que me afecta a mí, mañana le va a afectar a mi vecino. Por eso todos estamos aquí y más van a venir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naomi Romero. I go to this school. I'm a senior, class of 2025. And I'm here to represent the students of Perth Amboy and a majority of the seniors that I got the chance to speak with them recently about the issues that have been going on in this new school. So a point that I noted was that communication is key. We feel that there has been lack of communication. We're not being informed on activities, events that have been going on. There was recently a lockdown the other day. There were locks that were broken, handles that weren't working, which is a very dangerous safety hazard. Speaking of safety hazards, this school was also built on a corner that is very dangerous for students to be walking. I understand there is busing for kids that live 2.5 miles away in the waterfront, but what about those kids that live 2.4 miles away at downtown? I have a friend who also lives in Harbortown. They have to walk when it's winter, when it's freezing, it's gonna be snowing. It's very sad, and I've spoken as well to a lot of parents, and they've said, oh, but my kid has always walked to school. Okay, but we're in a time where dangerous things are starting to happen more often, and I think it's time that these kids deserve busing. Not everyone has a parent that is able to take them to school in the mornings. Another thing we also wanted to mention were the crossing guards. There are about 3 crossing guards on every corner here in front of the school, but the rest of Convoy Boulevard is missing those crossing guards. There is one here at the corner of the school, and then one all the way at Bank of America. Throughout all of that space, that is very, very dangerous, and I myself drive home, and I see kids crossing that street all the time. So as a driver myself, I have to be very cautious, and it's dangerous for those students. I also wanted to mention the teachers. I'm a student that respects my teachers, and I love my teachers, but not everyone is like that. I feel like teachers deserve more respect for what they do. I've been hearing complaints in the school about the lack of teachers as well. There are some classes that are missing teachers. The substitutes aren't there. It was the first day of school and there was a whole hallway without teachers. And I feel like that's not what us as students deserve. The class of 2025 was promised a lot of different things. And for me, I feel like this hasn't been the senior year that I was promised. I feel like this isn't what I was expecting at all. I expected a new big school, and I expected all of these promises, as well as the budget cut. It came out of nowhere. A lot of clubs are being cut out, which was beneficial for college applications. And the Health Science Academy was also promised scrubs, and I heard that that is going to be cut out as well because of the budget. So as someone who was in the Health Science Academy and many clubs, it makes me sad because that was going to be very beneficial for college applications. Those were a few points that us as a class of 2025 was worried about, as well as uniform. We feel as, in a way, for the school to be organized, they are treating us not horribly, but they're trying to enforce all of these new policies and not informing us, and I feel like they're focused on the
Good evening, Board of Education members. My name is Sharon Huberman. I am a resident in the city of Perth Amboy, and I am here today because I have taken the initiative to meet with many and numerous parents concerning not only their transportation concerns, but also what I consider a human rights violation, and I'll tell you why. According to your policy, which you gladly stated in your last August meeting, you excluded the following. The board will consider the provision of transportation to those pupils not otherwise provided transportation by this policy when the board determined walking conditions to be hazardous. This is where it becomes a human rights issue. Our New Jersey Constitution guarantees every child access to a quality education. In that access, it means safe access and transportation to their education. You discuss that the reason why we don't have access for our children to have that quality education is because of budget cuts. Well, I have here these budgets, and including, I had time to review some of the annual comprehensive financial reports. And I'm just going to make the following observation. In 2020, let's go back even to 2018, in 2019, the actual cost of transportation was $8.225 million. The subsequent year, which we're not really going to look at because it was COVID, so there should have been a drop. However, if we maintain the transportation costs, the actual costs were $7.3 million. Subsequent to that, in 2020, it was 8.02, 2021, and 12.9. Why do I raise those figures? Because the proposed costs of transportation for the 2024-2025 school year is $10.6 million. So let me ask you this question. If you were able to provide access for our students to quality education, which is always being touted here, at a price tag of $8.2 million, then why can't you do it for 10.6? There is a lot that I would love to dive into the budget, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of time, but I would welcome any parent. If you want to speak with me, I will definitely provide some information. But lastly, I would like the parents to be informed not to sign off their parental rights. And I'm going to read you the following.
Excuse me, your time's up. Thank you. Once everyone has spoken, you can come back.
Good evening. My name is Edwin. I've been living in this town for a long time. I have a big kid. We're going to high school too. And I'm very disappointed how these parents, they're going through this thing right now. You know, I know everybody got budget and everything, but they should talk about it, about the future for this kid that's going to this school. Parents, they live far away. Single parents, they have to wake up the baby at 5:50 in the morning to get him ready to walk all the way across the street right here, because I see a lot of stuff in the street. You know, I went to high school there too. My kid went to the high school too. This high school right here, it's nice, it's beautiful, but you guys don't talk about this small kid, about the parents. It's a lot of ways you guys can figure out how this kid, they can take a bus. You know, why you guys don't doing nothing for that? This street right here, it's dangerous. I see kids out there walking right here. A lot of people that got killed in the street. A lot of places that I'm driving around, because I know this town very good. I see a lot of crossing guys, they're not around anymore. What's going on with that? They raised the rent in this town. Everything's getting higher and everything. But they don't think about these parents that come here. Think about this small kid. I got my lady that she got to walk the other side, come from the boulevard, the other side, with my daughter that she's 2 years old. To come all the way here, cross this high school, go around this high school, go to Flynn School every day, and that hurt me. I can't take a day off because I can't lose my job, because if I lose my job, how am I going to take care of my family? She don't got transportation either. I can tell my boss, can I come late? Why? No, you can't. You're fired. You come late. And I know I'm not the only one here. I know parents here. They come from Waterfront all the way there. Okay, and the traffic is tremendous. Traffic around here. Don't get me wrong. The high school is beautiful, but what's up with this small kid with the parents single? Think about that. You know what I mean? I'm a father. I got 5 kids. I know how he's going through and everything. I know how his parents going through. I don't know everybody around here, but it's not fair how everything's going on here, man. Something has to be changing. November's coming, December's coming, the cold is coming. Kids get sick. Do you expect that have you wake up in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, to have your kid in the rain and the snow and the traffic? Do you want parents to lose their jobs too? Because they have to bring the kid to the school and they have to leave the car to the side and you have to move the car right away because there's traffic around? That's not fair. We're all human beings. We just
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. My name is Ismael Castillo. I'm a resident of Perth Amboy, New Jersey. And I am speaking on behalf of my son and my siblings. And I am speaking on behalf of all these parents. And I am very, very emotional. I work 45 minutes away from Perth Amboy. I have to wake up extremely early to get my son ready for school. I have to work something out with my mom to take my son, my brother, and my younger brother to school. How? And I have to make it on time to work? I am speaking on behalf of all these parents who live on the other side of Perth Amboy, but they don't qualify. Where is the money going? ¿A dónde está yendo el dinero? Dígame. We pay our taxes. We moved to Perth Amboy a year ago because Perth Amboy is beautiful. They help. Board of Education is awesome. Absolutely not. The fact that I struggle to get my brother from school because that intersection is horrible. God forbid anything happens to one of our kids. Whose fault would it be at? Look at that. It is extremely saddening. How about any of you guys go walk over there with your kids. Have your kids walk alone. I have a 3-year-old who has to walk with someone to get home because we depended on those buses. It is unbelievable. If we are a community, we should be working together as a community, and we're not.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Cardona. I'm a lifelong resident of Perth Amboy, and I have 2 kids who attend the district. Part of the board's role is to promote public confidence and see to it that schools are properly run. How can our schools be properly run with less security, less nurses, less custodians and secretaries? Not to mention cuts to transportation. In a town that is already overly congested, cutting transportation seems to me just foolish. What should take me 8 minutes to arrive at my daughter's school has taken me at least double the time, and that's on a good day. Less security guards jeopardizes building security and student and staff safety. There should be enhancements to school security measures, not cuts. Our children's safety should not be compromised. School nurses play a critical role in ensuring the health and safety of our children. How can one nurse be expected to provide quality health in my daughter's schools? Having cut crucial nurses puts more demand on the only nurse available, causing care to spill over to staff and increase in oversight. What happens when a child has a diabetes or asthma emergency and a nurse is either on break or responding to another emergency? Yes, sometimes sacrifices do need to be made for the greater good, but not at the expense of our children. How can the public have confidence in a system that is failing them and their children? These have been the cards dealt to us parents and to school staff. We have been dealt bad hands and are figuring out how to best play them, and the dealer sits at your table. You are gambling with the health and safety of our children. No quote-unquote greater good is worth that. You can't strive for excellence by only focusing on one goal when the entire district is at stake. Who suffers now? Who pays the price now for what this board claims will benefit children for years to come? Thank you.
Buenas, mi nombre es Giovanni Estrella. Yo vengo aquí en representación de los padres por la transportación, pero también hay un tema que para mí es bastante importante. Ellos redujeron el dinero para la transportación, redujeron el dinero de la transportación, pero también redujeron el dinero en la alimentación, porque mi hijo me dice que tiene una semana comiendo un sándwich, eso es lo que están ofreciendo. Entonces, le dan una comida mediocre, que perdónenme, no se comerían ustedes, pero a nuestros hijos sí se lo tienen que comer. No le están ofreciendo ni una buena transportación ni tampoco una buena alimentación. No es que le den un steak, pero algo mejor para comer. Ponen un menú que por lo que veo no se está siguiendo, porque cambiaron recién 2 comidas, pero toda la semana han comido lo mismo. Que mi hijo me indicó que él y la mayoría de sus amigos lo botan a la basura. Es dinero desperdiciado y bastante que es el dinero para la comida. Otro tema. Con respecto a la transportación, requieren que sean 2 millas para que los estudiantes, o 2 millas y media si son más grandes. A los estudiantes caminar 2 millas es 45 minutos aproximadamente de aquí a allá, caminan por el highway. Yo quisiera que ustedes caminaran y vieran por el mismo highway cómo están en peligro de un montón de cosas, de accidentes, de robos y de un montón de cosas. Segundo, sugiero que ya que ustedes entienden que 2 millas o 2 millas y media es correcto, ustedes lo implementen un mes ustedes mismos o sus hijos para que ustedes entiendan el problema que están pasando los demás. Porque es bastante, viene frío, nieve y en esta carretera es bastante transitada. Entiendo, esta escuela es muy linda, se respeta, es muy hermosa, pero lo que están implementando es la deserción escolar, porque los jóvenes, y lo sabemos, todos los años va disminuyendo la cantidad de estudiantes que se gradúan de high school. Si le pones a caminar 1 hora, la escuela es bonita, no van a querer venir a la escuela porque tienen que caminar prácticamente 1 hora. Entonces no van a tener estudiantes. Entonces mi pregunta es, ¿buscan que los estudiantes se gradúen y tengan un mejor futuro o le están quitando la posibilidad de tener un mejor futuro a los estudiantes? Gracias.
Distinguidas autoridades, mi nombre es Merlin Tejada. Venimos sensibilizados por el sentir de los padres, de los niños, de los familiares también que no tienen una posibilidad quizá de pagar un transporte privado. Y también vengo en representación de mi grupo en particular, que somos los School Bus Drivers. En mi caso particular, yo tenía más de 4 años trabajando, conduciendo buses de escuela, asistiendo en el área de transportación, en contratación como compañías privadas. Resulta penoso que producto de esa decisión, muchos de mis compañeros se quedaron sin empleo, aumentando la tasa de desempleo en esta comunidad. Y más penoso aún resulta que uno, sabiendo que el pueblo donde uno vive necesita el servicio, tenga que irse a una comunidad sumamente lejos a dar ese servicio. Es bueno que traten, no sé, de reevaluar, quizá buscar ayuda de otra manera para restablecer ese servicio, porque está afectando a gran parte de la comunidad. Por ejemplo, en el caso de nosotros, para poder ser school bus driver, tenemos que pasar una serie de exámenes de estado, procurando transportar a los niños con seguridad. Una serie de exámenes que son dados por motor y vehículo. Y es penoso también que ahora esos niños que podían ser transportados seguros por personas entrenadas por el Estado, o sea, avaladas por el Estado, sean transportados por personas que no tienen ningún tipo de entrenamiento, exponiéndose a situaciones de peligro. En realidad uno se siente concernado por todos. Y nada, esperamos que, no sé, si es que no hay fondos, se busque ayuda más arriba o se busquen alternativas alternas, pero no creo que la suspensión permanente de transporte escolar sea una solución buena para nadie. Gracias por todo.
Hi, my name is Christian. How is it fair for you guys to have transportation for disability kids and not for regular kids? Because my daughter, I have to walk her every single day, cross that thing, okay? My problem is that you guys got 2 buses, and she goes to James Flynn School. You got 2 big buses, and that school does not have that much students for you not to fit the other students inside that bus. You decided to build this school, and it's great. But you know what? You didn't think about the other people in this community. And you want votes? How the hell you want votes if you're doing this crap and you're budgeting cutting? How you expect a student to study and to pass grade and have a future in this world? Without that, they can't do it. How do you expect them to do that? If they don't have the right education, you don't have the nurses, all the stuff that they need to be having in this school, how do you expect that all our kids are going to be safe in this school? Answer that question. How? How do you expect to have education if you guys don't have the equipment? You guys shouldn't have thought of that before you did this stuff. Because you know what? Every family is suffering in this damn town just because of your guys' decision.
Iris Rodriguez, Perth Amboy, and I do have 2 great-grandchildren at the Willen School, and I've been here all my life. At last meeting, parents were encouraged to come to your meeting, and I see a lot of parents here. 80% of our community is Hispanic. Where is your interpreter? I asked last week. This is wrong. ¿A dónde está alguien que le sirva de intérprete a estas personas? I don't know if Mr. Anderson understands Spanish. I just hope he did learn. And I don't know if Diane Crawford understands all the Spanish, though I know she knows some. Okay? But that's all I ask. You tell your parents to come here and no interpreter? Come on, shame on you.
My name is Ariely Castillo. I am a former senior from Perth Amboy High School. I graduated this year. I am speaking on behalf of the students who have anxiety crossing extremely dangerous streets. When cars do not care and they are not adviseful and they just keep on driving. Right over there, we have a yield sign where the apartments are. Almost every 2 weeks, there's a crash. When I have to walk my friends home for them to feel safety, why don't you do me that favor and walk them home? During traffic jam, and it's like that. It's easy to take a cab, and the cab charges you $5 every day. Multiply that by 5 days a week. Multiply that by 3 weeks a month. it's, you know, my old school, we had bus tickets. I had a cousin of mine, I asked if they were able to receive bus tickets. They said no. No bus tickets, $2, okay? Not everyone works. I got a job this year, in the beginning of this year. Most students are not gonna be able to pay $5, much less $2 for transportation. You guys said we were gonna have transportation, where is it? Don't be surprised when your attendance decreases. I had cousins say that they were no longer gonna come here, that they were most likely going to drop out because they can't arrive here. They walk 40 minutes. I had to walk 20 minutes, which was fine, but I had to walk in the rain, in the snow, because I didn't have money to go to school. And you're telling me you're letting them walk 40 minutes. Sometimes they gotta wake up hella early to get a class. They said that even though the school is big, it takes them 15 minutes to get to each class, and they're late. They get marked late, and that affects their attendance.
Good morning, great people of Perth Amboy. My name is Bejar Shepard. I am also class of 2025 with the seniors of grade 12. One thing I want to talk about is fighting going on in the school. What's been going on with the security guards? Because I feel like there's not enough security guards in this place. Because that bridge that's literally right across where the freshman is, imagine if there was a fight between there and someone could get thrown off. Why build that bridge there? Why would you want to build a bridge? Because the thing that I don't get is that how do y'all say that y'all make this place safe? Y'all want to make this place perfect, but it's not safe and perfect. Fighting going around, people making shanks out of pencils, just like that boy in middle school that got stabbed last year. What did y'all do? Y'all was scared because y'all know that we was about to confront y'all. But look at y'all right now. I'm sorry for my language, but what the hell was that I saw with my own eyes and my own ears? Because it is not fair for me to come up in here What is y'all doing, man? I cannot have this. I have a nephew that is 8 years old in 3rd grade, and I'm watching him grow up. If he comes in here in a few years, and if I find out that he gets hurt, what is y'all gonna do without enough security guards? I cannot take this kind of pressure, and I will not take it. So what y'all need to do is start being a board of education and start building up to make this school safe and perfect. Because I will not take this. Neither is them, neither is none of us, and not the program around this school right now. So y'all need to step up and make this city great, like it's supposed to be. Thank you very much.
Dr. Pepe, is there anybody on remote?
Yes, I have quite a few people. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Dr. Pepe. I'm the IT director. I'll be moderating the remote public portion of our meeting tonight. For those of you who wish to speak, we're going to be using the raise your hand feature in Microsoft Teams. For those of you who are calling in remotely, to raise your hand, press *5 and follow the system prompts to unmute. Remote participants will hear a beeping sound when their 3 minutes on the timer are up. Okay, for the record, I do not have anyone with their hands up in the remote session. Thank you.
There's no one remote. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Okay.
My name is Jonathan Castillo. I'm in 8th grade. I go to Shoei Middle School, and I see kids walking by themselves. Five to 7-year-olds are walking home by themselves because their mom can't pick them up. What you do that is show kids, huh? God forbid they get hit tomorrow by a car. Walking up that hill at the new high school, huh? What are you guys gonna do, right? Nothing. Sometimes I tell my mom that I walk home because she has to pick up me, my little brother, and my nephew, huh? I have to walk 30 minutes to school by myself by the highway. You think that's funny? You think I feel safe walking over there by myself? There's kids in middle school walking by themselves. God forbid the next day someone gets killed, hit by a car, kidnapped, robbed. You guys wasted a lot of money on the school, but you guys didn't think about the problem that was going to come, right? The buses. Not enough teachers, security guards, and nurses, huh? God forbid some kid stabs another kid tomorrow, just like last year. What you guys gonna do about it? You guys, it's time for you guys to open your eyes up. Aren't you guys the Board of Education? I'm only 13 years old. I'm here. I know I may be a little, but I have a voice that can change you guys. God forbid I get hit by a car tomorrow, what's gonna happen, right? I'm speaking to all the parents right here. You guys need to help them. Find a way to help the parents, the single parents, the single mothers that have to work, that can't pick up the kids. Find a way to help the kids cross. It's not fair that kids have to suffer because of this new high school. Do you guys have no money for buses, any way that the kids can come home? Today I see the 7-year-old walk home by themselves when it's hot outside. How you felt that was your kid?
Hello, good evening, good evening. I want to say shame on you guys. That's a student of yours. How dare you let him have anxiety? Anxiety to come to school. Anxiety to go home. How dare you? Are your children in the same position as ours? Are they? No. I researched. Perth Amboy receives the second highest of government funding, state and federal. But yet there was budget cuts, right? There was bonuses before buses, right? How dare you? I live between two trucking routes, Amboy Ave and 35. I brought this up at the open house. Their excuse, not enough taxes. We need 3.5 million taxes to cover busing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The amount of salaries that go out, bonuses, and let me tell you guys, salary caps have been erased for New Jersey, which means superintendents and staff can continue to go up. So where's the budget for us? Our children get the funding, not for your luxuries. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. You know when I saw a crossing guard on Amboy Ave? Just this week. The whole first week of school, when Flynn was transferred to the high school, not one crossing guard on 440. Not one. Nothing by Hemeleski either. So you tell me, I pay taxes, I work. Where's my money going? Because it's not going to my kids. It's not going to your child, is it? Any parent in here is not going to their children. And I don't want to hear about after-school programs. Yes, they're great, but you know what? My child's safety comes first. Every child's safety comes first. Our children's lives should not be sacrificed for a budget cut, knowing you get funding for our children. So you guys need to get back together and figure it out, because this is mismanagement at its best. Mismanagement of funds. So you need to figure it out fast.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time. We're here as mothers. I'm a mom of 5 in 4 different schools. And it's been a struggle for me every single morning. I have to be at work at 9. My first daughter starts at McGinnis, so I have to drive. I live by the hospital. Then I have to go drop off my son at Hemaleski. If I wasn't blessed enough to have a car, how could we both live on the same street? How could we walk our 3-year-olds from the hospital to Hemaleski? On top of that, I work 9 to 6. I rely on her, she relies on me. Whatever day she's off, she picks them up. What happens when her schedule and my schedule doesn't meet? On top of that, we have to choose and pick which child we pick up on time and which child gets taken to the office. Do you guys understand what that means for a child? Your parents not at your school at 3 p.m. And it's not because we don't want to be there. It's because we can't be in 2 places at the same time. In my case, I have to be in 3 different schools. 3 different schools at 3 p.m. Do you understand what you're doing to my other children? I have to choose and pick. One day I go pick up one early and the other 2 wait. The next day, and it's not fair for my kid. Soon, if this continues, the day that she can't pick them up because she's on a different schedule, she works 4 days, she's off 3 days, I have to ask to be off from work. You know what that's gonna cause me? To lose my job. It's not gonna get any taxes. My taxes ain't gonna be paid. I'm gonna live off government. So is that what you guys want us to do? Or you guys are here to help us, help our children be better than we are? I'm not here asking for a handout. Buzz we understand, like you're saying, it's a privilege, but it's a need. We're not rich, we're not making, I don't have money in the bank to pay. There's a company charging us $160 a month. I can't afford it. I have 5 kids. Do you understand what that means? I won't be able to pay my mortgage if I have to take that kind of money. On top of, I've been late to work every single week, at least once, because of the traffic it's costing me. I work 35 minutes away. So it's impossible to drop off my kid at 8:20, 8:30, and still be at work at 9. You know, we're not asking for handouts. We're just asking for you guys to give us a solution to help parents like us. Our husbands go to work at 4 a.m. We don't even have them to help us out. You know, we see it in the street we live. A lot of the moms don't have cars. We don't have space in the car to help them out. It's all we can do, help each other, but it gets to the point where we really can't, and we need you guys. We accept that you guys took our program for DLS students, 7 and 8. We took it, okay, we understand. But
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joanna, and I have a student currently in Rosa L. Lopez, which I have to emphasize how great our school director is, because he's a great director, and I hope that I get to see him in the future as our superintendent, Mr. Nieves. My question to you, all of you, is where are the rest of your board members? They're home, muted on the computer, listening, probably paying attention, maybe not. How can you announce to a district that is so big, 2 weeks prior school starting, that they're not going to have transportation? As humans, where is your empathy? There is no empathy here. I had to write this down because I don't want to get off focus. But what happened to those funds of transportation? Was that a misappropriation? If so, is the person being accountable for? What happened to all those type of funds while schools were closed during COVID? What about the 3 years worth of funds, not only for the bus, but for everything else? How did we get to use all those funds within such a short time after the schools opened? Now the question is, where are the current funds being used, the funds that were supposed to be for the transportation these years? How are that is being administered? We heard that the reasons behind the transportation situation is that the money was used to pay the teachers. Well, let me remind you that that money was all money due to the teachers from the last contract, and it was split into 3 payments because they couldn't even get their full payment in 1 paycheck, which means taxes are being taken out 3 times. It's a shame that as teachers, we have teachers that not only, I don't know if anybody knows, they're not only teaching 1 subject, they're teaching 2, 3 different subjects because we don't have teachers. The teachers have moved to Newark, who pay them almost $8,000 over. We don't have nurses, we don't have enough staff, you know? Now, when it comes to crossing guards, there was no crossing guards in Amboy Avenue. There was no crossing guards in Washington Avenue. Attendance. How is attendance being addressed here? How are you guys handling attendance with the kids being out of school because they can make it or late? Now, with the cut in transportation, have you in-depth think about the risk of our children walking home, especially on 35? Let me remind you of the stabbing that happened in Hull Avenue. How are we keeping our kids safe from these gang fights that we all know that are going to happen? And how are we keeping our kids safe from situations or events that have happened in different states where somebody with a mental stability, not control, goes and runs over all these kids? Can you even think that that could happen here on 35?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Maria Gonzalez. I am here as a concerned parent. I do have a question for the board. I understand that budgets are usually, they're made ahead of schedule, right? You prepare for the year ahead, and in your situation, I assume you prepare for a few years, maybe. But why were the parents abruptly cut funds and told only a few weeks prior to the school year startup that there will be no transportation? Some of the parents didn't even get notices. And me, for instance, I was told, because I know a lot of people that work at the school, I didn't even know my kids weren't going to get transportation. How do you expect the parents to make arrangements for the kids to get transported from and to school safely, right, if you're not even giving us enough time to make arrangements? Another question I have, what was the urgency of finishing this, yes, this precious high school, when it was not needed? You're cutting funds, you're cutting security on our kids. The kids are supposed to be our future, and you're jeopardizing our kids' future by cutting transportation, putting them in harm's way. My kids are in elementary, fleeing school. I live on the other side of town. If I have a 10 and an 11-year-old, I cannot afford any of them to cross Amboy Avenue and Conbury Boulevard to be in school. I have to split myself 4 ways to bring them and pick them up. And not for that, I'm thankful for having a reliable job, and my boss understands because I spoke to them and I told them the situation. But what about those parents that cannot do that? And I'm putting my job in jeopardy by I have to be at work before 9. I have to come and pick up the kids. I get 20 minutes only from school. In the morning, the kids can only be drop off from 8:10 to by 8:30 they have to be in school. And then they have to be picked up from 2:45, and usually I was told by the teacher that by 3:05 everybody should be picked up or they have to be helped. Imagine my child asked me already 2 times, Mom, who's picking me up tomorrow? because he knew I had an important business meeting I was not able to miss. And I was urgently trying to get someone else to pick up my kids. I didn't find anybody. Everybody is busy. What was the urgency of finishing this school? Why? I understand the other high school is still empty because Flynn was there for 3 days at the beginning of the year.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Kenia y solamente quiero aclarar algo. La Junta de Educación no pagó un centavo para construir esa escuela. Quien pagó para construir esta escuela fue el condado. Entonces me gustaría saber dónde está el dinero destinado para esta escuela y para transportación.
Once again, Anuris Peralta, I'm here to talk again. The member that's holding the 2 elected offices, I'm asking for her resignation as soon as possible, and I'm asking for the vote to be annulled. I'm asking for the union, teachers union, to get involved and take a look at this ASAP. Because if this is not corruption, it's in full display. It is in full display. Not a single cent from Perth Amboy went to the building of this school. It was a gift. And you're telling me you can't find the budget? You can't find it? Really? So let's stop aligning pockets over here and take care of our future that are sitting there. It's embarrassing that 2 kids, 2 teenagers today went into tears in front of you because of your actions of what you did. We are pissed off. We are pissed off. That's all I gotta say. Scott.
Good evening again. My name is Sharon Huberman, and to continue the prior conversation, I am going to read to you a letter that was sent to one of the parents of a student at James Flynn Elementary School, and it says, "The safety of our student is a priority at our school. Students in grades K to 5 can be picked up by an adult at dismissal, and students in grades 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade can walk home unescorted with permission. Please complete this form below and return it to your child's teacher at your earliest convenience." 3rd grade. How old is 3rd grade? 8 years old? Today, we had very, very strong-minded individuals standing up for their rights because they go to the school now. And to the peril of their safety, to the peril of what is considered a human right, you can all resolve this today. And you know how? What we have here is not an administration. What we have here is a misadministration. With that said, I know many of you were told, well, if you increase our taxes by $2 million, we'll provide the transportation. We're going to take a close look at the budget that each of you approved. Don't get directed by such information that is giving you actually a huge liability, to speak quite frankly. So if you want to take action, vote for the change for a new superintendent, because it's obvious to me through the budget, funds have been not allocated to the best of the ability that it can be. In addition, all this in business we call tying. Do you know what tying is? Tying is an illegal practice upon which they're going to render a service in return for something in return. We are not here to tie the lives and the safety of our children. We are here to provide access to a quality education. So make the decision. It's a tough one, I know, but you can do it. The law is on your side. There's not $1.something million to say goodbye for a new administrator. It's capped. Check the law. So That's what I urge each and everyone. You need someone sitting there who knows what they're doing. Thank you.
I need a motion to close public session.
Move it.
Need a second?
Second.
Whereas pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, the Board of Education may exclude the public from that portion of a public meeting wherein the board discusses any of the matters set forth at NJSA 10:4-12B 1-9. Now therefore be it resolved that in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, the Board of Education shall conduct a closed session pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B for the purpose of discussing the following matters: personnel and matters covered by the attorney-client privilege. It is anticipated that the length of time of this executive session will be 60 minutes and that action may be taken in public after the executive session. I need a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All against? The time is now 6:47. Board meeting is now back in session. It is now 8:22. I need a motion to close executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All against? Motion. So moved. Okay, just a reminder, the public portion of this meeting has closed, and now the board will be doing the work of the agenda and their voting. Please try to keep your comments to yourself, as now the business will be moving forward. Thank you. Mr. LoBrace, please read any additions or revisions to the agenda.
So there's an addendum that was placed out on the wall where the agenda was placed. In addition, there's two revisions. Personnel item 1G is changed from Willens to Richardson, and personnel item 5E should read 2024. That's all the revisions.
Thank you, Mr. LoBrace. I need a motion for the approval of the bills list for September 19th, 2024, and payrolls for August 29th and September 15th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any discussion? So moved. Correspondence, Mr. LoBrace?
There's no correspondence for this month.
Thank you. Mr. LoBrace, can you proceed with our reports for this evening?
Board Secretary report for the month of July 2024. Treasurer's report for the month of July 2024. Acceptance of the reports of the Secretary and Treasurers as submitted and as being in agreement for the month of July 2024. Acceptance of certification from the Board Secretary that no major line item has been overexpended for the month of July 2024.
Thank you, Mr. LoBrace. For the Board President's report, the Board of Education expresses its sincere condolences for, at Patton School, Venetia Alston, sister; Shell School, Louis Fryer, mother; McGinnis School, Joanne Ruiz, mother. Deirdre Sconiers Black, sister. High School, Afshan Wahid, mother. Sardamelis Nunez, father. Gilfrank Nunez, uncle. I would also like to acknowledge the passing of Miss Aretha Sconiers, who served our district as a teacher since 2003 and passed away on Thursday, September 12th, 2024. And the President's report. So in addressing some of the individuals who came to the mic, the Board of Education has met with different groups of parents and representatives of the community to listen to their concerns and suggestions regarding a multitude of issues, including transportation. We will continue to meet with city officials and legislators, and we continue to work on solutions to some of the challenges families may encounter. However, we are unable to fund transportation at this time without significantly affecting the quality and priority of education for our students. However, the meetings will continue. We will continue to seek solutions. At this point, we're still kind of waiting for the comments, and now it's time for the superintendent's report. Thank you.
Similar to what was just stated by the board president, we have been in active conversations regarding transportation and how we can perhaps come to some type of fiscal method of putting this forward. A couple of different things were said, and we need to make sure that we're clear about this. Although we appreciate the fact that many individuals have said that the taxes have been raised and you pay your taxes, there's been no tax increase for school for the past 10 years. That's just the reality of it. So when you say, where is the money? No taxes on school funding, and then we have all of these issues that we have to put forward, you wind up being in the situation that you're in. That being said, we're still actively looking for solutions. We're meeting with many different legislators and other individuals to try to find a solution to this. A big solution will be increase in taxes to the school. One thing I wanted to do was to really talk about a lot of wonderful students that we met with over the past really 5 months. And the students of Perth Amboy High School are no less than the following: elegant and really insightful. And we met with them on a number of different occasions about the dress code. So tonight I'm happy to promise them that, la promesa, that we will keep our promise and ensure that they will have their dress code in effect by January. We have to follow certain protocols and procedures that allow us to get there. The students came up with a lot of wonderful ideas. We all felt as the district and the board that it was time for the students to be able to represent and reflect who they are as individuals, so we have modified the dress code and the uniform policy. Again, in mid-January, end of January, all students will be able to implement the effectiveness of their, I guess I would say, victory, and coming forward and speaking appropriately and seeing how solutions get done. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Roman. Okay. Okay, now for the curriculum committee, Mr. Joas, can you read the curriculum committee?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to move item number 1 on page 4 to item number 4 on page 4.
Okay. I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? So moved. Personnel Committee, Ms. Jasmine Melendez.
Madam President, I'd like to move item 1 on page 5 to item 12 on page 8.
Yep.
Second.
And I think we have some amendments that we have to include on there, correct?
Yes, amendments and revisions.
So this would be including the amendments that Mr. LaBrace read. Mr. LaBrace, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Don't we have discussion first?
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to welcome all the new appointments in item number 1 on page 5. And I just want to recognize Ms. De La Fuente in item number 4 in her retirement. May it be a long, happy, and healthy one. I was fortunate enough to work with her, extremely dedicated teacher, putting 1,000% effort into the success of our kids. I want to thank her for that.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Okay, Mr. LaBrace, can you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Crawford.
Yes, on all items except number 10.
10 is an abstention or a no?
Abstention.
Mr. George.
Yes.
Mr. Marte.
Yes.
Ms. Melendez.
Yes.
Mr. Quiles.
Yes.
Vice President Gonzalez.
Yes.
All motions carry.
Thank you. Now- Mr. Quiles, can you do the finance?
Madam Vice President, I would like to move items 1 on page 9 through 17 on page 12.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any abstentions and any opposition? So moved. Okay. Old business? Second reading of the following policy and regulation, 5517, pupil identification cards. Is there any other old business? Oh. I need a motion to approve 5517 pupil identification cards.
Move.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All against? So moved. I need a motion to close old business.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Any abstentions? All against? Point of order, please. New business. Approval to return students ID number 621, 112, 836, 632.
You know what, just hold for a minute.
Mhm.
And yes.
In new business, approval to return students ID number 621-112-836-632 to school for the 2024-2025 school year, as recommended by the Student Disciplinary Committee at the hearing conducted on August 29th, 2024. Approval to return student ID number 102 to school for the 2024-2025 school year upon receipt of a satisfactory psychiatric clearance as recommended by the Student Disciplinary Committee at the hearing conducted on August 29th, 2024. Approval to remove student ID number 743 from schools and placed at an alternative educational setting as recommended by the Student Disciplinary Committee at the hearing conducted on August 29th, 2024. Addendum items. First reading of the following policy and regulation.
Policy 2510, adoption of textbooks and core instructional resources. Policy Regulation 2510, adoption of textbooks and core instructional resources. Policy 7650, school vehicle assignment, use tracking, maintenance, and accounting. And Regulation 7650, school vehicle assignment, use tracking, maintenance, and accounting.
Thank you, Mr. Lobrace. Is there any other new business? I need a motion to close new business.
Motion.
Discussion, vote on the new business.
Excuse me. Okay, I need a motion to close new business. Oh, we have to vote on the new business items, correct? I need a motion to pass new business.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Yes, I want to vote yes on everything except abstaining on 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. So moved. I need a motion to close new business.
Motion to close.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? I need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion made.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. The time is 8:39.